I'm excited. Hello.
Yay!
Hello. Let us know if you can hear us. First things first, make sure the audio quality is good. Good to go. Make sure we can see. Let's see if okay, I can see some comments coming in. Hello. How's everyone doing?
Hey
Welcome,
everyone.
welcome. So today we are going to be discussing Every Vow You Break, which is the buddy read for this month for the book troop, and I'm joined by the lovely Noelle Gallagher. Who
Hi.
is genuinely one of my favorite booktubers. Like I just love your content so much, and I'm fangirling so hard that you're even on my channel.
Which is it's so cool that you say that just because I feel like you're the YouTuber that I turn to when I just like need to see someone who's so excited. And I'm like, oh, I'm feeling like when I'm in a creative rut. I always turn to you when I feel like I
Oh,
need the boost of like, what should I talk about? You're always so excited. So I'm
that's
so
so
happy to be
sweet.
here.
Yeah. So to start, maybe why don't you just tell us a little bit about your channel, like what you do on your channel? Not that anybody doesn't know who you are or what you do on your channel, but just introduce yourself.
Okay, well, I'm Noelle, and I've been on YouTube. Actually, my 4-year anniversary on YouTube was on Friday, which
Oh
was
wow.
excited. I didn't
Yeah.
celebrate in any way. I should have made a cake or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, 4 years, and for the first 3 years, it was kind of all over the place. And then over the last year, I decided to just focus on books and reading vlogs and wrap ups and
Yes.
TBRs, and it's been so fun. And I feel like I watched BookTube for so long, and I was so shy
Mhm.
about like talking to anyone on BookTube because I was
Uh,
like, they don't know me. It's so, and everyone's been so kind and so sweet and so
yeah.
welcoming. So
That is so
um
cool.
yeah, I'm so
Yeah.
excited. This is really cool.
Yeah, I love that you have like a lot of book content, but then that you also like mix it up sometimes and just do like monthly favorites or just like talk about other stuff too. Like I think that's really cool, and I wish there was like more like openness on BookTube about exploring more like other stuff too. Like, but
Yeah.
I really like the different kind of stuff that you do on your channel too.
Thank you. I love
Yeah,
doing it. And so I don't know if everyone else loves it, but I try to just like I want to talk about this candle I got. So
yeah, no,
yeah.
I love it. Yeah, amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much to everyone for like joining the live with us and hanging out. I just wanted to get an idea of how many people have actually read the book and how many people are here just to hang out with us for a bit. So, if you have read the book, maybe put a little like red heart emoji in the chat, and then maybe if you haven't read it, maybe put a black heart emoji in the chat,
Yeah.
so we can get a visual of how many people have read the book and how many are just here to hang out for a bit before we jump into like anything spoilers. This beginning part is gonna have no spoilers, by the way, for anybody just joining us. But yeah, so why don't you just give us like a very brief kind of like premise on like what the book is about, maybe give people
Okay.
an idea.
No spoilers.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Okay, so it's about this woman named Abigail who
Mhm,
is about to get married. She is a little not 100% in this engagement or this marriage. She's
mhm,
having some doubts, and she meets a man on her bachelorette party who seduces her, and then she has to deal with this guilt that she's feeling,
mhm.
and then she goes on her honeymoon and has to deal with this guilt, and some things come up and some people show
Mhm.
up that she doesn't want to see on her honeymoon. And so it's kind of, I think
It's a
that's
good
a,
gist.
yeah.
It's the gist. Okay, awesome. Yeah. It seems like there's a lot of people here that haven't read it. It looks like. But it looks like there is a lot to have. So we've got a lot of
Oh
mixed bags
man.
here. All right. Oh my gosh, my friend Jesse's here beating a hamster for
I
us.
saw that.
Yes,
Yes,
agree.
totally. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I want to know the tea. What is everyone's ratings? Just like drop them in there. I just want to see. I feel like this book, out of all of the book troop selections so far, has been the most divided that I've seen so far. Like, I feel like a lot of people are either really loving this or really, really hating it. And so I'm just kind of
Mm-hmm.
curious to see where everyone's majority of the ratings are going to fall for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's see. My gosh,
Ooh,
Kayla's
Kayla's here.
here. What's up? Oh, Kayla just finished it. Hmm.
Oh, we're
That was
excited for
pretty
your live
funny.
show too, Kayla.
No, we were just saying how we're so excited to see you and Elias talk about this soon. Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, we got quite a mixed bag of ratings coming in.
I know this is a good little rating selection.
I know, like wow. Many, many different thoughts. That's what I think makes this
Ooh.
so fun is because like everybody feels so differently about it, so it's like cool to talk about.
And I feel like with thrillers, everyone experiences, like everyone has a different taste for a different thriller. So maybe this
Mhm.
worked for you, but another one of my favorites wouldn't work for you or regardless. So
Exactly.
I think it's
Yep. All right. Well, I would love to know what is your rating for this book? What did you
Oh,
what did you think?
okay. All right. I'm giving it a 2 out of 5
Ooh.
because because it was so obvious to me what was going on. And it was actually so obvious that I made up who could be the bad person. And it was like someone
Mhm.
out of left field. Like it wouldn't have made sense because I was like, there's no way it's going to end up exactly how it looks like it's going to end up.
Mhm.
And so it was really obvious to me. And someone else said this in the chat, but like, I had a lot of fun getting through it. Like I was like,
Yeah.
this is really fast. And like once I
Yeah.
would finish a chapter, I really wanted to see like what was going to happen next. And
Yeah.
so I felt like it was fun, but I also didn't really like our main character, Abigail. So
Mhm.
I feel like sometimes a mystery might be obvious, but you really root for the main person to figure it out. And this one, I was just like, I'm not
Yeah.
attached to you. So that's how I feel.
Mhm.
What was your rating? Oh my God, I'm excited.
I also gave it 2 out of 5, and pretty much for like the exact reasons like you mentioned, like because I actually thought the first 50% was pretty good. I was like, I would give this like 4 stars at the beginning. I was like, I'm enjoying it. And like you said, it's like it's a super easy thriller to get into and it's like really quick. So I really liked it for that reason. But yeah, like about halfway through, I clearly saw where it was going. I was like, this feels really obvious to me too. And yeah, I didn't really care for Abigail either. And it was just like, I don't know, I just wanted it to have so much more. I felt like it had potential to go in a direction that could have been really cool and different and stuff, but it just kind of, I don't know. It's like maybe like when you read too many thrillers, it's like you can just kind of see the see the way it
Mhm.
could go and will most likely go. But yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know.
the little twist that I came up was that her best friend Zoe was in on it. Like I was like,
Mhm.
maybe it'll be so twisty that like her best friend is somehow involved.
Right.
And that didn't happen. I was like, that would have been so cool if we got
Yeah.
something so. But I just felt like it was really obvious that you couldn't trust any of the men in this book. And so
Mhm.
whenever a new man would get introduced, I was like, I don't trust you because I someone's already been sketchy, and I feel like maybe well, I don't want to spoil anything at this point if we haven't opened up for spoilers, but I felt like I couldn't.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with Justin that if this was a horror, I feel like it could have really gone in a different direction as opposed to a thriller. Because like I do feel like this book did have potential, and like yeah, I totally agree. If it was a horror, I feel like it could have really gone into like a darker, like I don't know, it could have been a lot more intense, I think.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
yeah, that's interesting. So let's see, what was one of the questions? I wanted to ask too, have you read any other Peter Swanson? I wasn't sure if I knew that or not, if you have.
I have not.
Oh, you haven't?
No,
Oh
Elias
wow.
has read a book by him that he loves. So
Mhm.
he mentioned him, and so I was like, he was on my radar, but I hadn't read anything by him. And so,
Oh, okay.
um, do you have a favorite by him? Do
Dang.
you like a
Yeah,
lot of his books?
I yeah, Peter Swanson's like one of my favorite authors, and that's why I was so shook that I really didn't like this. But I love The Kind Worth Killing is like
Okay,
one of my favorite thrillers of all time. That's
I'm
like
trying to
probably
find
his most
pen.
that's probably his most popular one. I think that's the one everybody like recommends.
Okay,
But The Kind Worth Killing is so good, and it was like my first book from him, and then I really liked a lot of his other books. I didn't really care for his last book too, The Eight Perfect Murders
okay.
one. I didn't care as much for that one either, but besides like these last two, like he's always been one of my faves, so that's why I'm like, this is sad.
Mhm. Yeah,
But
I definitely don't. I'm not gonna. Someone else said this, like it was their first, but they're not gonna give up on him. And I agree. Like I
mhm.
had a lot of fun, so I'm excited to see what he's done with other mysteries. But this one just, it felt like other mysteries I've read, but
Yeah,
not, or thrillers I've read, but not as good as the other ones.
yeah,
So
yeah. yeah, not to like get into any spoilers or anything, but there was like this part in towards the beginning of the book that I really thought was like interesting when it was like they were at their wedding and then she thought she like saw the guy that was like the guy that she had been with or whatever on the Bachelorette and stuff. Like I thought that was so creepy and like so well done, kind of the way she could only see like kind of like a silhouette and he was like smoking or I don't know what he's doing, but like and the way she's like, is that him? Like, I don't know. And it kind of felt like she was being like stalked or something. Like, I thought it was so well done in the beginning, and I was like genuinely getting so creeped out.
No,
And
and like the fact that she could smell his cigarette was like,
yeah,
oh, like she's even like scared of like the elements right now. I thought that was really
yeah,
cool, and it made it like that he was hovering in her peripherals, and he hadn't approached her yet. I thought that was
hmm,
a really cool way to build up this kind of moment of fear. So I
yeah,
thought that was cool.
yeah. I mean, and the whole idea of like, so their honeymoon when they go on this honeymoon, he basically takes her, like her husband takes her to this island where there's like literally so many men, and it's like almost to the point where it's like strange. Like there's no other women on the island, and there's like no service on the island, which I thought was really weird. There's like they literally like don't they make them like give their phones or like their cell phones to them or something like when they go on the island? Like they're not allowed to have any of their like personal technology belongings like on them, which I thought was
Mhm.
super strange. And like I personally like love island vibes in books, so I was like really like here for like this mysterious like weird island. I was like, what? But
No, I there's that same, exactly what you were just saying was something that I was thinking about bringing up today of that like once an establishment or a group of people or like the setting of a thriller cuts you off from communication, then there's a
mhm,
problem with wherever they're going, right? So
yeah,
whether it's like a company that takes your phone or like just the
mhm,
location takes away your communication with the outside world, I
yeah,
felt like I knew that people on the island they were
yeah,
not great people. So
exactly.
yeah.
And I'm like, I never trust rich men in books ever. That's like thriller 101. I'm like, rich man, shady. I'm just like, I don't trust it. Like something's going on. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Justin, I haven't seen Midsummer, but I feel like this would be accurate.
I know I haven't seen it either, and I know I need to. It's like
I
I'm
know I
waiting
need
for the
to.
right moment to watch it,
Yeah.
you know?
His that director, he directed Hereditary too, right? And that
Mhm.
director just like scares me. Like I feel like his movies are gonna like scar me and traumatize me. So I just keep like putting it off. um yeah, so do you think we should jump into spoilers? Do you think we should just go for it? Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should just go.
Okay. Wait, can you hear me? Because my internet just cut for a second.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I can hear
I was
you.
like, no. Okay. Yeah, let's do
Okay,
spoilers.
so yeah, we're gonna jump into spoilers. If you haven't read it yet, then be warned, we will be jumping into some spoilers. And yeah, I'll just kick us off with I so the part of this book that I personally saw coming, like I was kind of predicting like right away that you can't trust the rich husband. Like I was immediately super skeptical of Bruce's character, and I was like, there's no way this like rich man is just gonna be like swooping up in here being like, let me pay all of your bills ever, and like after meeting like 6 weeks or something, and then being like, let's get married. And it was just very shady from the start. And I was like, okay, like something's going on with this dude, and like why would he bring her to this island where like there's all these men, and like it just didn't seem like a very romantic place for a honeymoon. Like I don't know, it's just very weird. So I was like immediately like onto him. And then it's like the whole twist of it like being like I don't know, like this place to like bring women to punish them basically for like cheating on their husbands or their spouses or whatever. I was just like, what? Like I like saw it coming in a way, and then it was also just like I immediately felt like it was gonna be a cult. Like that was my
Yeah.
suspicion right away. It was like, oh, it's this like cult where there's like only men and stuff like that. And I don't know, I was shocked by the like some of the parts at the end, but I was also kind of like, okay, well that I could have seen it coming too, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I feel like I totally knew that Bruce was sketchy because exactly what you
Mhm.
said, like he was so willing to pay for things right away. And also like she was describing moments where it was like the first time we got together, he was just staring at me like he was just staring at my body like I was something to be studied. And I was like, okay, weird, don't like this.
Uh,
You're having hesitations because you don't feel any chemistry for your husband. you are saying he feels like a stranger. Like there's so many reasons why this shouldn't be happening. But
Mhm.
then, I mean, this whole storyline with Scotty, it was, to me, there was no way he was a good guy. Like,
Yeah.
how did he find out her real name? How did he find her email? How did he show up
Mhm.
at their wedding? How did he?
Right.
Okay, this is the thing. Um, sure, or Bruce says, "Oh, I'm co-owner, so I don't need to pay to be here. But even if I wasn't a co-owner, I wouldn't tell you how much it is because of how expensive it is." And
Yeah.
she knows that Scotty, or whatever his other name was, she knows that Scotty is a carpenter and a part-time community theater actor. So he doesn't have enough money to fly across the country with
Yeah.
like 2 weeks notice to like stay at this super rich, like swanky, like resort. It just like,
Yeah.
he shouldn't have been there. And even if like, obviously, like I don't think he actually had to pay to be at all these things, but like the point is that she understood that it was a place that he probably, how would he have found out about? How would he been able to afford being there and finding a flight? Like to me, there was I there's no coincidence in a thriller. And she kept saying, there's so many coincidences, and they're probably not, but that's the only explanation I have. And I was like,
Mhm.
please try to find another explanation. You know what I
I
mean? Like,
know.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like she just, like, so willingly just kind of, like, went along with everything, and I think that's why I was kinda like, "What is she doing?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree, Justin, that I wish it was a cult with a deeper intent or a rich man pranking his wife. Because yeah, like, the whole idea of the cult was just so far-fetched for me. I was like, "Dude, this guy literally went along with marrying the girl even though he knew that that had happened then, right?" Like, he knew that she cheated on him, and then he, like, went through with the wedding, went through with everything just to bring her to this island to, like, punish
Mhm.
her. And, like, I can't
Mhm.
even remember if it said if he had any actual intentions of, like, killing her or not on the island, because I don't think he did, right? Like
Yeah, because then the other Jill dies, and they're all like,
yeah,
"Oh no, that wasn't supposed to happen." And I'm
I
like, "What
know,
was supposed to happen?"
I
Like,
know. So I'm like, "What then what is supposed to happen?"
yes, where are these wives supposed to live once you've punished them?
Exactly. Like,
I'm.
what are you supposed to keep them there and, like, torture them forever? Like, I don't
Mhm.
like, what are they doing there? So that's why I was, like, yeah, confused. Yeah, like, he wanted to torture her, but I'm like, "Okay, but for how long?" Like, and not kill her still,
And
I guess?
just take her home and hate her? Like, was that,
Yeah.
and then there's that, oh my God. I mean, if anyone else has like a least favorite scene, I know that this is like the twist scene, but like when they're all about to get on the plane
Oh my
and
god.
Scotty's like, I'm taking her. And then Bruce is like, no, I'm going with my wife. And then they're like, shouldn't we let her speak for herself? And Abigail's like, I want to go alone. I'm like, in what world? This is an unsafe place. Why
Yeah.
would they let you decide how you get to escape? I'm
Yeah.
confused. So, yeah.
Ugh, I know that whole, like, finale from, like, the moment when they're, like, on the beach and then, like, with the plane, like, the whole last part, I was just, like, sitting there, like, listening to the audio, and I was like, "Are you fucking serious? Like, what is happening?" Like, it
Yes.
just lost it so much for me.
And they all laughed. Like that whole laughing scene. Someone just called it
Yeah,
out. Like, I was like, whoa, like why this like weird, uncontrollable laughing was just like not even creepy. It was almost like too theatric. Like, why are we laughing so hard at like this moment? And now the plane, like the pilot is laughing and he can't keep it together. And I just feel like it should have been like oh no, we're all in on it and we're taking you away. We're not all laughing at
mhm.
you. Maybe I'm just being picky, but
No, I totally agree. That's why I felt like it had so much potential because I really did think the beginning was genuinely, like, pretty good. Like, I liked the buildup and I liked the suspense of having that one other girl on the island too, and her being like, "Oh, I had a similar situation where I, like, fucked this dude," and, like, whatever, and then it was kinda like, "Oh my gosh, like, what's going on?" So, like, they had that in common, and I was like, "Okay, like, where is this going?" And then it was like, the way she kind of, like, went missing, like, she was supposed to meet her, and then she wasn't there, and I was like, "Oh my god, what happened to the girl?" And then she, like, thought she saw her on the beach. Like, I thought it was so good at the beginning and that it could have really gone into, like, a really creepy direction, and
yeah.
I don't know. And then it was like the whole thing with Scotty that, oh my god, I literally wrote down one of the lines he said because when he's like, he literally told her, like, when in the scene when he's basically like blackmailing her to like have sex with him again, like right when he's like trying to convince her, he tells her that their souls passed into each other when they fucked.
Dude, I once that line hit, I think I was like, "Oh, I'm out. I don't
I
this is not
know.
getting a great rating for me. I'm a little confused at like
That's what I mean. I was like, what? He's
Yeah.
literally just like, yeah, like he's basically asking her to sleep with him again, or he'll tell Bruce everything. So he's basically blackmailing her to like have sex with him again. And like just that line, like ever since that scene, I was like, there's no way Scotty's a good guy in this book. I mean, it's already creepy enough that he's like stalking her to like her wedding and her honeymoon, but then like that too, I was like, what?
Yeah. Seriously, and everyone's talking about the kayak, how she was able to like carry this kayak, and then like I'm thinking she like rode all night. I don't know how she would have
Mhm.
had the energy to drag this kayak, like escape these search dogs, shoot
Mhm.
someone's leg, then paddle for like hours in the middle of the night. I was just like, I don't know. I think there was definitely a way that she could have escaped, and I just feel like that like section was so fast that I was like, I don't think you physically could do this. It was so fast. It was so
Yeah.
much on her, and so.
It was really, yeah, it was really rushed at the end. Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought Abigail was gonna be pregnant in some twist, like Bruce trying to help her get out. I know what.
I was waiting for that too. Like, in the epilogue, a lot of the times there's always that like final line that makes you think that she's
Mhm.
not fully safe. And I was waiting. I was like, maybe that's like this really good, like last line, and it's awesome, and it really creeps you out. But then it's just
Yeah,
done. And I was like, I mean,
I know.
it's great for like finality, but it's not great for like a thriller that I feel like should have ended on this
Yeah.
moment.
I know, I felt like the ending was really weird and it just like wrapped up in a very like neat way where it's like, oh, all of these men, like they are all caught and whatever like happened on the island and stuff, but it was just weird. And also like, do you think it's weird because this book is written by a man and it feels like it's so desperately trying to have this like really big feminist like message at the end that's like a female empowerment thing. And it's
Yeah.
just like, I don't know, because it's written by a man, it just feels like so weird to me. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, I
It
feel like
kind
he was
of,
reaching too hard to be like, I'm a feminist. Like,
yeah. It reminds me of like, there's some books that I really like by Riley Sager, but like it kind of, I don't remember so much about Final Girls, but that idea of like these really strong women and like, look at us, we're all
Mhm.
together and we're fighting against this like pack of men. But then it's hard for me. Like I thought Riley Sager was a woman for a while, and then when I
Oh yeah.
found out, I was like, oh wait, all of your protagonists are women, and it's always a bad guy. Like you always, I just thought, I don't
Hmm.
care.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I'm like all for, I guess, male authors like wanting to have more, feminist themes in their books. Like I appreciate it, but it's also like in this sense, it just felt so like flashy, but like I don't know. It
Yeah,
just felt like he was
flashy's a good
very
word
like
there.
on the nose about it, like yeah. I know like how men are something bad. Yeah, it was very, very strange.
Yeah. I agree with what we were talking about earlier about like how this could have been a horror, because if you were going to
Mhm.
go the culty route and like maybe they are stuck on this island forever and like they're never going to leave, and then the ending was like this whole, I mean, horror filled moment like of like really this every vow you break, like really trying to, I don't know, punish whatever. But to have this thriller that like what was supposed to be the end. Because if you're shocked
Yeah.
that one of the girls died, I don't know what you expected to happen with
Yeah.
our main girl. Like what was also
Yeah.
like this, what was the like the girls' cabin that had the trees and it looked like a set?
Yeah.
What were
I
they
don't
doing with it? There was like a cage.
I don't
Maybe
know.
I don't.
Yeah, I remember what you're talking about, but I honestly don't know. It was the other girl that went missing, right?
Yeah, and then she, like, peeked in and she saw, like, these fake trees in a room with these like, with a cage out of sticks or something. I don't know, maybe I was
Hmm.
putting too much, but I when I saw that, I was like, "Are they, like, filming something?" Like,
Yeah,
I'm
what?
I don't know. Maybe it was just supposed to be a small thing on the side, but
Yeah, that is so weird. Yeah, I also feel the buildups didn't quite pay off all the page counts on her past relationships. What was the purpose? I know. And
yes.
there was that thing too where she was like mentioning like this girl that she used to either that she used to bully or that used to bully her in high school, and she was talking about like slashed tires and stuff and how she like hated her, and I'm like, this is like what does this have to do with anything? Like is it just like weird character building that's just supposed to make us like care more about her or something? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and then so exactly what you just said, like, this kind of buildup about how she was, like, slashing tires in high school. I was like, oh, okay, maybe she's supposed to be the one that does this. Like he's giving you a hint that maybe she's the villain in this.
Yeah.
And then when she's not, I was like, okay, so you just made her unlikable at moments. Like I didn't
Yeah.
really root for her in the way that
Oh
happened.
yeah. So the fake set. Somebody's saying it used to be a camp. I think they used to go to this camp.
I think someone said it earlier. I think maybe it was where they were holding Jill and Abigail before they took them to the trial.
Oh, okay.
So they were like in the same dark room, and she's like, "Tell me your story." And they're like, "Oh, they can hear us." And she's like, "No, we just need to tell our stories." I think maybe they were being held there, but I don't know why there was like a set. Like, why were there trees and stuff inside? I don't know.
Yeah, what? Um, yeah, that very like first moment where we found out that like Bruce was untrustworthy when he called her like a spoiled bitch, whatever. I was like, what? Like it was so like out of character for him. Like she literally just told him like, I want to get off this island because some shady shit's going down, and he's like, you fucking spoiled bitch. Like I was like, oh my god, like
Yeah, and he's like, I understand why you want to leave. It's scary, but also you're a bitch for not appreciating our honeymoon. I was
I
like,
know.
she saw someone bleeding in the woods. I'm confused, Bruce. Like, if you're going to keep up
Yeah,
this good guy act, like, you're just not. That didn't really make sense.
I know.
Did we
Oh,
have
I
a
guess
favorite moment? Does anyone have a
they had to play
favorite?
there. I know. I don't know. As far as favorite moments go, I mean, I think like my favorite thing about this book was like the build up, and I really liked like the going to the island and like learning about like the staff there and being like, oh, this is so creepy, and the way Scotty was kind of like all stalking her in the beginning. I just thought it was going to be like a really cool like stalkery kind of story, and I guess that's why I was disappointed with where it ended up going. But do you have any favorite parts?
I think I also liked the setup when you figure out that like Jill's ex is also on the island. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
we're doing something fun here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then and then again, like Abigail was like, coincidences, don't they suck? And you're like, Jesus, Jill or
I know.
Abigail, like, come on.
I know, like how that was way too close of a coincidence for that to be like
hmm
crazy. What is everyone talking about in the comments with the closet?
Oh, when she's hiding in their own bunk, and she's like hiding in the very back of the closet, and she's like, I'm
Oh my
fooling them because I'm hiding like in our own room and no one's thought about it yet.
oh, what the
Um,
heck? Jeez. Oh, that's right. It was the island wasn't finished being developed into the resort. It had a boys' camp on one side and girls on the other. The set seemed
okay,
like it was left over.
so
That's
it's just
right.
kind of left over. I see. I thought it was like the
Mhm.
guys were trying to do something weird, but I think that totally makes sense.
I know, I feel like this is strange too that she didn't really know like what she was getting into with like their honeymoon, like the way he kind of like took over and planned everything. I was like, is that realistic for somebody to just willingly be like, yeah, like fuck it, like I don't know where we're going, like
Yeah, or
it's their
like
honeymoon.
yeah, that and then when you get there and you notice that everyone knows your husband, I'm just like,
Mhm.
how are you not? I just I don't
I know,
know.
and then it's also like he's clearly been here so many times that it's not like a special place for him to be, you know. And wouldn't you want your honeymoon to be somewhere that's like special, or maybe somewhere both of you have never been? Because it's like you're supposed to be making memories of like a honeymoon here. Like I don't
Yeah.
know.
And I think like so if we're thinking that like if they're so shocked that Jill was killed and
Mhm.
this is like a camp of guys, like it's kind of a little culty a little bit where like they all come together to like right these wrongs of these women, then where are all the other women they've presumably done this to before? Because I'm
Exactly.
assuming that it's like Abigail's not the first one. It seems like this
Yeah.
is a situation that continues. And so like if it was, I mean, if you're really that shocked that the woman died, then where
Mhm.
are all the other women you've been keeping? You know,
Exactly.
that would have been
Yeah, because
scary.
they mentioned at the end that this was like a common thing that they did, right? Like, or this
hmm
had been going on for a while. So yeah, like, where are the other women that they like did this to? Like,
Yeah.
if they're not dead.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been like, that would have been a cool twist, right? Where like you walk into the girls' camp and it is still a girls' camp, but for like girls that they have kept, right? Like that would have been
Yeah,
terrifying, would have been a cool twist. And
yeah.
so the fact it's like a little, like Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I don't know if anyone's read it or seen it, but like kind of
Mhm.
keeping women around, or like, I don't know, like this underground kind of prison thing. So the fact that, like, why are they all shocked? What was the point of this trial? You guys are drugging them by a fire. I don't know
Mm.
what, I don't know.
I know, like, they said more people came out, and
Yes.
yeah, so I'm like, then what have they been doing this whole time?
Yes.
I know, I wonder, do you think they, like, paid off the women because they're so rich? Like, all the men are so rich that do this? But
Mm,
it's like, then why would like, I don't know, like, all of these women just got paid off not to talk about it, and
yeah, and I
oh, yeah,
would
and
these men trust them to just get paid off? Like,
I
you'd
know.
think they'd want full revenge. They wouldn't want to just be like, "Well, great weekend. Here's some
Yeah.
money. Don't mention it." You know? It's, I don't know.
And the whole thing, yeah, about Scotty's wife, like that was so weird how it was like mentioning in the beginning how Abigail kind of like looked like Scotty's wife. And I thought that was like really creepy and stuff. And then it was revealed that she drowned, right? But then later on we find out that she didn't actually drown, right? It was like he had brought her to the island and like punished her, and maybe that's how she drowned. I don't know. But wasn't
Oh my
that
god. If that's true, wow, I totally missed that part. Oh my god.
or am I just like making this up? Like I don't
Well, I knew, so like that's the other thing is like she's like, "Oh my, me and my wife are having problems." And then the minute you find out that Scotty's wife actually died on their honeymoon from your best friend and it was like reported in the news, how do you think he's a good guy? He lied
yeah.
about his wife being dead. I don't. I just,
Yeah. I know seems like everybody's confused on this because some people are like, no, Scotty actually killed her, and some people are like, no, she actually drowned like by accident. But I
oh
feel like
yeah,
that's
and
too much.
then, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I feel like that's too much of a coincidence for her to have just like accidentally drowned. Like,
Yeah.
no way.
And then there's the like, there's the coworker, the only other woman on the island is this coworker.
Mm-hmm.
And it's clear that she's given information to Abigail because Abigail says something. She's like,
Mm-hmm.
"No, she told me." Like, she tells Scotty, I think, she's like, "Oh, Melanie, right? Or Melly?
Mm-hmm.
Melanie." She's
Yeah.
like,
Memory.
"Melanie told me that she's still on the island. So wouldn't they
Yeah.
immediately punish that coworker for
Yeah.
outing them?" I'm
I know
confused.
she was like never brought up again, right? Like,
Yeah, she's like, she sees her in the room and in her own room. She's like, "You need to help me. You need to help me." And she's like, "I can't help you. I can't help you." And I was like, "Well, you've already helped her and they know that you've helped her. So I don't know how you are still alive." Like, I don't know how
yeah,
you're still in this book.
exactly. I know, I didn't even think of that. And like the way too, like it would be so strange how since she couldn't have her phone, like they would track like anytime she used the phone to go and like call her friend or whatever. And I'm like, wouldn't you think they have like the phones tapped and like are listening?
Yes.
Or like
Yes.
they did? Like I don't know. Hmm. Oh, someone did say she comes forward as a witness at the end.
Okay. Okay.
Really did. I must have missed that. Yeah, it is an easy plot device.
Hmm.
But well, what would you like compare this book to, or like compare it to like another book or like another movie that you think are kind of similar to it, maybe in like vibes or like plot?
I was getting, and I don't know, it's been a really long time since I read Final Girls, but I had that same feeling of like
Mm.
this like surviving woman who's being kind of hunted, which also reminds me of like In a Dark, Dark Wood by Ruth Ware,
Oh
kind
yeah.
of like on an, like in the woods, trying to
Yeah.
hide in the shadows. I don't think I loved In a Dark, Dark Wood, but I remember being thrilled by it. So
Mhm.
yeah. Do you have any?
Yeah, that's interesting. I think like the island vibes definitely kind of reminded me of the guest list in a way,
Yes.
just a little bit, just because of the whole like spooky island thing going on. But I don't know, it also kind of reminded me of like the movie Get Out, or like it was trying to be kind of like that movie
Mm,
in a way. Like I just think with the whole like the like he takes her to a mysterious place, and then like there's a lot of people there that seems shady, and like she can't get off the island, like it just kind of felt like that, but maybe this author is trying to go for a more like feminist take on Get Out or something. I don't know.
is
I
there
mean,
maybe a little bit of what's the other one by Riley Sager? The like the blue cover at the summer camp.
oh, The Last Time I Lied.
Yeah. a little bit like
Mhm.
that because it's like on campgrounds and there's, you know,
Yeah.
people that are working there that aren't to be trusted. So,
Yeah, I can see that. Sure. Ooh, yeah, somebody said Ready or Not. Have you seen that movie?
yes,
Yeah, I feel I can totally see that.
it's fun. I feel like
Mhm.
that movie's fun.
Anything with like a wedding, like immediately just reminds me of Ready or Not. Like that is so scary. Oh my gosh, yes, Quentin Tarantino movie where rich people torture and kill people. Love it. Oh man. Well, yeah, I mean, any final thoughts from anyone? Any like other things that you think we should talk about with this one? I feel like we feel pretty much exactly the same about it.
It was a really quick read, so I had
Mhm.
fun reading it, and it was. I mean, it was fun. This live show was great because you're like, you're not. Like, I didn't love it, and here's why. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
it was good.
Sorry, my
No
sister.
Exit. I haven't read No Exit. Is it a book or a
Oh,
movie?
you haven't read No Exit?
No.
That one's a book. It's a really good book.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So No
That one's.
Exit is a higher rating.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No Exit is so fun because it's a really like isolated thriller where there's like a snowstorm and the main character gets trapped at this like rest stop and she sees a child in the back of a crate in the back of a van. And so she knows that somebody at the rest stop is like a child abductor and she doesn't know who to trust. And it's like it's so intense and it all takes place on like one night and it's like snowy and like oh it's so good. So good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. This is good. Did you read it with an audiobook? Like, is the audiobook good?
I didn't read the audiobook, but I
Okay.
think the audiobook would probably be fine. But it's
Okay.
a page turner for sure. Like you're just like, what the
Oh,
fuck?
I'm
So good.
excited.
Yeah, I think you'd like that one. All right. Well, let's see.
What's your May pick?
Oh yeah, so the May pick is going to be The Burning Girls by CJ Tudor, which I'm really excited about. I like CJ Tudor. Like I've read some of her books. Have you read any of CJ Tudor's stuff? She wrote like The Chalk Man and The Other People.
No, I
No.
don't think so. Do you
Yeah,
like the other books by her?
I really like The Chalk Man was one of my favorites, but then I thought The Other People was like okay, so I'm really curious to see how I feel about The Burning Girls, but I've heard really good things about The Burning Girls. So I'm really excited. Yeah, I'm really hoping The Burning Girls will be a winner because like all the books that I've read for this book club so far have been like not that great.
You're keeping it honest though, right? Like you haven't read these
Mhm.
thrillers, so I'm glad that like you're not just coming on here
Exactly.
like, oh well, so since it was my book club pick, I have to like it. Like,
I know, I
I
know.
think,
It's like it's so hard to like pick books for book club, which I'm sure you know because Noelle has her own book club too. If you didn't know, but it's hard because you're like, am I gonna enjoy this? Like I don't know. Like you're just kind of blindly picking books, and so
mhm.
yeah. So I'm hoping The Burning Girls is gonna be exciting.
What's the June's pick? Someone just said they're excited for it.
Um, yeah, June's pick is The Other Black Girl, which
Oh
is
my
this
God, I've heard such good things.
yeah, it's like a thriller that takes place in like the book publishing world, and so that's why I'm like most excited because like I
Oh
love
my
thrillers that have like
God,
books in it. So yeah,
dude.
the book club is cursed, but hopefully next month, hopefully next month it'll be a winner. Yeah, Noelle, what is your book club pick this month?
Oh, in April, our live show is next weekend, but
Oh,
we were
nice.
reading Shadow of the Wind, and then for May, we are reading The House of the Cerulean Sea.
Oh,
So
cute.
I
I
haven't read
love
this
the
one yet. I
house.
haven't read either of them, but this one,
Mhm.
I've only heard amazing things.
It's
So
so
I'm so
cute.
excited.
Yes. That book is so adorable. It's just like it's just so happy. Like it's just great, you know.
Good. I hear everyone cries too, but like
Hmm.
in like a good cry way.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hmm.
I'm
It's
excited.
just it's like beautiful and touching, you know. It's a good one.
Okay, wonderful. I'm excited.
Neat. Well, oh my gosh, I think that just about wraps up this live show. So thank you so much to everyone who joined and for everyone who participated in reading along with us this month. I really appreciate you for hanging out for this afternoon. And again, thank you so much to Noelle for coming onto my channel and for hanging out and just being a genuine, awesome human being and creator. Like I really appreciate you coming on and I really love your channel and yeah.
You're so sweet. Thanks for having me. Always so excited whenever you post anything. So
Yeah, I'm same.
thank you for having me. And I also love the name of your book club. When you announced it, I was like, how is that perfect for Gabby? I
Oh.
love it so much. So
I
thank
know
you for
it wasn't
having
actually
me.
my idea. It was like somebody commented on one of my videos and said you should name your book club the Book Troop, and I was like, that is
Oh,
genius. So I can't take credit.
amazing. Love that.
Yeah, but thanks so much for hanging out with us, and yeah, I will see you guys next month with another live. So thanks for joining us. I'll see you guys later.